Ho, Gigi.
Yes.
You,
Well, yeah.
what are you bundled up for? 70 degrees outside.
Well, I was at Wrigley Field yesterday, and I was sitting in the bleachers across the street, and I don't think I had enough juice in me, and the cold caught up with me.
Well, the bar's opened at 7 per right day.
Hey, I should have been there instead of on top of that roof on the bleachers.
Wasn't that incredible?
That was amazing.
I mean, if you're going to pay high rent, you got to get the view of the Wrigley Field for it. That was amazing.
And the reason for that, Northwestern was building a new stadium from the ground up.
Well, let's wait. Let's wait till we get there. Because what I would like to do is I would like to go. Let's go just by the numbers. Let's start at the top. We're going to get to it soon because as we all know, Ohio State's at the top. But we're going to get to it.
To get to it, can I go back to the bar?
The bleachers on their apartment have nothing to do with who was playing there, though. That just looks like it's a permanent fixture. I was going to say, unfortunately, I would tell you to go sit on one of the benches with the heaters, but half of them aren't working at the Georgia-Tennessee game, and it was a brisk 55, and they were all upset. Yeah. And
I think
Kirk and Chris was laughing at you. said it was on purpose.
I think it was on purpose. I think they just unplugged them.
Okay. As usual, Saturday did not Saturday like it was supposed to Saturday. So I would like to just start from the top. And we just gonna read everybody for filth on the way down. And kudos to those who deserve.
Why can't y'all just play a Saturday like y'all supposed to?
Speaking of, number 1, Oregon.
Number 1.
Barely wins against Wisconsin.
Can I ask you something?
No, you cannot.
Did anybody score a touchdown?
Yes, there were 2 touchdowns probably scored.
It was 16-13. I thought it was just all field goals.
Yeah, or it might have been 2. Oregon might have got 2 in there.
I'm sorry, y'all. I swear to God, this was a kicking game.
It's not the fact that it was a kicking game. We've seen kicking games, and it happens.
But number 1?
Say it again.
But number 1?
Against an unranked Wisconsin. What's Wisconsin's record?
I knew you was going to ask that.
I knew I was going to ask that, too, and I was trying to look real quick. It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. You said those stats.
Wisconsin has not been in ranking conversation all season.
Since day one.
How are you? Now, they were in Madison, Wisconsin, of course. But at halftime, Oregon was losing.
I think you're right.
I know I'm right. I wrote it down, too. I said Oregon loses first half versus Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold y'all.
No, don't hold us.
We got a little bit of the game.
You gotta go.
We seen that. We always say Big Ten football is tough. And we ain't the only ones that say it. But it was kind of like there were the games that you could have thought, this could be an upset. That was not one of them.
That was not one
of them.
That was
not one of them.
It was Wisconsin leading Oregon at half.
But I would like to give a shout out because thanks to that performance, Dylan Gabriel is now only in second place for the Heisman. And, number 1.
That's not
Travis Hunter.
That's not what it was about.
When you got money on him, it is.
Well,
I'm not saying anybody does, but somebody might have took Travis Hunter for the Heisman favorite when he was like plus 1,700. I don't know who, but if they did, cash out is up to 112. Moving on.
Oh my God.
And now next game Oregon has is Washington, and then that should be next week they have Washington.
They only had 2 more games left. So they played Wisconsin and barely won, and now they have to play Washington.
So do they get a bye week somewhere?
They're done.
Because there's 2 more weeks to go.
Well, they'll get a bye week on the 3rd week. I don't know. But I just know they only got 2 more games to play.
What 2 more games?
One more game.
Okay. Sorry. They must have a bye week coming up because Washington, I think, is supposed to be their new rival.
We don't care.
No, it's always been their rival.
I don't.
I lied. Yes, they have because Penix beat them last year.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't their rival. I lied to you again.
Oh, God.
They're their new rival because of the conference change.
Okay.
Oh, are you busy?
I am just saying. Does it matter? Well, maybe it does because maybe Washington will come back and beat them.
Because it is different now.
Yes,
and we want to get acclimated to the new conference. I also have to tell y'all, somebody is not feeling good, so they are a little
I was out in that Wrigley Field. That wind was blowing off Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, moving on. Number 2. Ohio State goes to Chicago to play Northwestern. And as you mentioned, games at Wrigley Field, which is baseball, and for Chicago Cubs, for those who don't know. And it was very cool, but it was very weird.
It was very weird.
They didn't have a close locker room, so halftime was in the bullpens and some old dugout under the stands.
Well, yeah, and they had to go in like 2 by 2.
Yeah, it was so strange. And then
go
they took
downstairs. They had to go down this long hallway, and they could only get 2 in at a time. You know how big them boys is.
Yeah.
At one point, I only seen one going in. He was touching.
Listen. And it was like they gave extra time for the halftime. But it was very cool. It was a good 50-50 crowd.
Oh, the crowd was amazing.
Yeah, it was a good 50-50 crowd. And as you mentioned, what was also very cool, people had bleachers on top of their apartment building.
Across the street.
That was crazy. The kicker actually kicked one over there.
Yeah, Joe did. Bounced off the roof.
Kicker kicked one over there across the street. Now, Ohio State was supposed to win, but we are not going, don't harp on that because a lot of people were supposed to win and do not. Am I right?
That's only,
Thank you. I am right. I'm glad you pointed that out.
I've given up on y'all. I've given up.
Don't give up on them.
I got to. That's what I said. You all should be jailed by now. I only got a few more weeks to go. Number 1, 2, 3 sports. Y'all should be playing like y'all are number 1, 2, Oregon.
Well, everybody should be playing like
everybody should be
1.
Yeah.
That's how you should go into it with that attitude,
I like
right?
That. I like
that. You the one to beat whether you are or not.
Well, that's right there.
Right. Or you go in like you number 136 and you got nothing to lose.
Right. Like they always say, like Ryan Darius says, every team is like a new season.
Yeah.
I have to approach every team like it's a new season. And you got to. Mm-hmm. I said that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he says it's a process. But you're right. Every game you play.
Okay.
Did I say that?
Third time. Okay. Yes. Ohio State's defense, per usual, shows up. Mm-hmm. There's a big fumble on the first possession. Ohio State got a big block punt. That was huge. Started off slow first quarter. And it, of course, played a lot better. I also want to point out the fact that Will Howard, and maybe just because I'm hyper focused on it a little, it's not different, but it felt a little different yesterday. Two things. His open field throws. He throws it
and he throws all
right in the middle, and right in the middle.
Oh, that's true.
It might be 10-15 yards, but those, I'm like,
oh, good night.
It always looks like it's in traffic, and
it is always in traffic.
But guess what? No interceptions yesterday.
I don't miss that. That's a plus.
That's you connected with your receivers, them knowing where to be, and because one step off, a lot of those could have been interceptions. They were in traffic. They were in traffic. Big point out, Cardell Tate, his first touchdown game.
Right.
He was in his hometown of Chicago.
Right.
He had a bunch of people there. That was super amazing.
Yep.
He is wide receiver 3.
Yeah. The third test. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down 3 wide receivers, and you come in the game.
Yeah. No. They weren't down.
Well, I mean, if he's number 3, they're down 1 and 2.
They're not down. You switch them out. We've talked about this. Abuka, Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, they keep them fresh. Oh.
Yeah, you switch them out. Yeah, or there's usually 2 of them in a game, depending if they plan to run or throw or how they want to show the offense. But normally there's 2 rushers, 2 wide receivers of some sort.
Got it.
But he's been having a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to move on to number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3, Texas wins over Arkansas 20-10. No surprise there. A little shocked it was close.
I am
too. Act that close.
I thought they was going to do another blowout.
I think they were a 2-touchdown favorite.
Oh, well. Didn't bake that, did ya? 2010.
Did not cover that spread.
Did not cover that spread. Sorry, babe.
Number 4, we won't harp on the ones we don't want to harp on, if that's okay with you.
Penn State, Purdue.
Penn State beat Purdue 49-10, supposed to. Number 5, Indiana's on a bye.
Okay.
Number 6, BYU.
Y'all knew it was coming.
Loses.
You've been living on the edge.
At home.
You know it was coming.
To Kansas.
Not ranked.
Not ranked. And not only not ranked. Because there's some good teams that aren't ranked. There's people that are 7-2. And because your name ain't Bama, you don't get to get ranked.
That's true.
Kansas was 3-6 going into this game. Kansas was supposed to be a favorite this season, and as we all know, lost early.
Yeah, and they got knocked
They were ranked low in the beginning, week 1, lost to UNLV, and just not been able to snap back. But coming back the last few weeks, a lot of people have been saying they've been improving.
Yeah.
Kansas beats them 17-13. Now, We seen the Holy War last week. We told y'all about it. We told y'all. Utah said the game was stolen. I didn't want to argue with them, but I get it. We everybody keep bringing up the Ohio State loss. We lost by 1 point, and if you want to talk about stolen, there were some stolen things. But I said Kansas was going to win yesterday.
You did. You did say
I
that.
said it because they play close too much. BYU.
They're living on the edge.
They play close too freaking much. There was a muffed punt that hits a BYU player in the head, and Kansas recovers it.
Well, before Kansas recovered it, listen to this. Hit him in the head, bounced on the ground. There was a BYU player right behind him, jumped for the ball, had it practically, squirted right out of his hands, right into the hands of a Kansas player.
Yep.
On the 3-yard line.
3-yard line, Kansas, of course, easily punches it in. Now, Kansas has a quarterback who, I don't know if you remember from last year, but he was a notable last year.
Uh-huh.
His name is Jalen Daniels.
I get him mixed up. I kept thinking, ain't he playing for the Commanders?
Yes, that's Jaden Daniels from LSU. And as soon as you said it, the freaking announcer said it.
I know he was copying off me.
I'm so tired of it. Why do they get paid millions and we only get paid thousands?
Because we sitting at home. We don't get paid.
We get paid nothing.
But anywho,
our time.
Stupid play. But
silly. But that's not the only thing.
But that's not the point.
That's not the only thing.
That's not the point.
But it's not the only thing as well.
They played. Kansas played well.
Kansas played well. They've been playing well last few weeks. They are one of those teams that, to me, they are not a bad team. It's not hopeless. It's just one thing's off. Yeah. Something's not clicking. And as we talked about, we were talking about, I think somebody has to play Oklahoma State. And we were like, well, don't count them out because Oklahoma State was ranked.
Yes.
Right? They had the same things the beginning of the season that they have now. They haven't fired a coach. They haven't lost a quarterback. So the thought is, if I got the same ingredients, I'm going to get that cake right one time.
Yeah.
If I keep trying it and making sure I follow the recipe, I got to follow the recipe. I won't go off the recipe. Then I got to get that cake right. And I just think BYU was bound to happen. And not only was the Holy War a close one.
That was a close one.
They showed another game that was a close one. I want to say Oklahoma, but please don't quote me.
I don't know which one it was.
It might have been Oklahoma State because maybe it was Big Ten, but it was a close one. Right? And so it was like
by that one.
Thank you. So I said it. I think Saban said it. And I knew they weren't going to squeak by yesterday. I called it. Now, they play Arizona State next week. And we're going to put a pin in that because Arizona State will come up later in this episode.
Now, Arizona or Arizona State?
Arizona State.
Yeah, I always get those two mixed up.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on to the game of the day.
Oh.
The game the whole nation was watching.
Oh.
Number 7 Tennessee versus number 12 Georgia. Now, before we get into the game, going into this game, I have my thought on Tennessee is they are not as good as they say they are, or everybody acts like they are. And 2 was Georgia is not as good as I know they can be. That's how I went into the game. I have to admit, I was rooting for Georgia.
We didn't know who he was rooting for.
I was rooting for Georgia, and I do have to eat my words because Nico Amalava, the quarterback for Tennessee, is a freshman. Be it red shirt, be it true, don't matter. He's a freshman. And he looked good. Tennessee looked good. Tennessee looked really good. They played Georgia really hard. They lost. Shocker. Spoiler alert. They lost 31-17. Wasn't very close. Wasn't as close as I thought it was going to be.
It was close going into the third quarter, I thought.
Yeah, but you know how that goes. You got to play 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the football game is 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
Carson looked like himself.
Amen. Carson back looked like it. No interceptions.
No interceptions.
Ran the ball.
Twice.
Made a touchdown.
Several times.
Not several times. I think he made 1 touchdown, didn't he?
Oh, 1 touchdown, but I'm sorry, ran several times.
Ran several times.
You're right. I'm sorry.
And I think, okay, Kelly.
I got wrapped up in the hype. Sorry, Chloe.
He's back. This is what you got to play like next week, the week after, and going right into the playoffs. You got to keep playing like this.
What about first possession, first play was a big throw down the field?
I didn't think, oh my God.
I love it.
It was.
I don't know why you play conservative coming out the gate. When you're not first of all, you don't throw a first down.
No. And you're Georgia. I take every shot down the field. You got the quarterback, you got the receiver.
You can't do every shot.
Well, I know, but anyway.
But that was coming, a good throw. First of all, on first down, they always say you're supposed to run first down. And that first play of the game,
just heaved that baby down the
He
field.
freaking throws it down, and it was this close.
This close to caught.
And as we know, he did it again second half, and they did catch it. They did catch it. Don't give up on it. It was a good play. Then go all the way, bake that cake. Follow that recipe. Follow that recipe. Right?
There we go.
Oh, we should post a recipe for a cake.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Go
No,
ahead.
you gotta tie it in.
Yeah,
You gotta
okay.
make, you gotta move it and groove it. Okay. The catch, I want to also point out, there were some amazing plays, both sides.
There was both sides.
That Sampson for Tennessee, you can't stop him.
God, he just ran right down the
You
middle.
can't stop him.
I mean,
He's
I
a
thought-
bowling ball, baby.
I thought they had him.
I thought they had him 3 times.
The guy just zoomed, and I was like, catch him, somebody catch him.
And you know what? It looks like it's right there on TV.
It's like it's easy.
Yes.
But it's not.
Thank you.
And you're going like,
This man is running. What, 20 miles per hour easily? He's 230 pounds, 6'2".
Jeez.
You jump on him. You run and try to jump and time it so you don't fall flat on your face.
Hey, all I know is I be riding into the end zone on his back.
Okay, you would probably. That big catch fourth quarter, Georgia, Carson throws it down. The guy catches the ball and the opponent.
Oh, so did
I don't know how he caught that.
But
I
both
don't
of them were
know
like on the
how
ground
he caught-
wrestling for the ball.
Oh,
I think, oh my God, he's gonna get that.
Oh,
It looks like both of them caught the ball. They fall to the ground and they're still like tugging, and then Georgia comes up with that. And I went,
I don't know
how did he do it?
I don't know.
how did he do that?
I don't know how he did it.
You know,
Other funny thing that came up during the game, Georgia's driving. I think it's fourth quarter. It's definitely second half. Georgia's driving, and they may have got a 5-yard penalty. Somebody did or whatever. So teams are shifting, and a Tennessee player goes down.
oh, that's your claim to fame. Yeah,
My claim or their claim?
there. Oh God, that one. Oh.
So they play it back, of course. And they're like, well, let's see how it happened, because we don't want to say somebody's not hurt.
Right.
He gets up, he walks in, he looks over at the sideline, and then he goes down. And they say it's never a good sign when you look at the sideline. Then you go down. And then he said, and you talked about this before, it was a Kentucky game. Or
Yeah.
Kentucky or Ole Miss. You said, oh, by
Yeah.
surprise, there's another Kentucky team right down, or Ole Miss teammate down.
And they
you
back
said-
in the game 2 minutes later.
Yeah. The commissioner of the SEC this season sent a letter out to everybody about that. Per the announcers, it was strongly worded, not very nice. And it was basically like, let's cut this out. Like, we're better than this. Like, let's not make this a part of the game.
Because they take off the momentum from the other team that's driving.
Yes.
Take the momentum out.
Of course.
You got the momentum,
Of
slow it down.
course. Y'all got to slow you down,
I
right?
fall out and get hurt.
Ah, that was so.
I ran into the referee and fell down.
He didn't run anywhere. He was walking away. He looked over, and then all of a sudden he like,
Yeah.
oh.
I would have ran into the referee, man. Look halfway decent. Oh, the referee hit me.
Or get up limping.
Get up.
Always get up limping, and then if you walk it off, you walk it off. But if you go down, maybe it's like, oh yeah, he did get up limping from that.
He didn't get up nothing.
They don't take acting lessons, thank God. Thank God. They just stick to football. He was like 400 pounds. He was huge. Okay. Anything else on that game that you want to point
No,
out?
that was a good game. That's all I can say. Congratulations, Georgia. You're back.
Well,
We'll see.
we'll see. Now, they should be okay, though, because next week they have...
They got
Not Citadel.
No.
They
No,
got-
no. They have UMass.
UMass. Okay. Should.
They
Fingers
should.
crossed. Hopefully they didn't leave everything they had on the field. Number 8, Notre Dame beats Virginia in easy fashion,
Yeah.
35-14.
You got that.
Number 9, Miami's on a bye.
Bye.
Number 10, Bama, surprise, it pummels Lil Mercer, who was an FCS team. They're 9-1 in the FCS, but it was a display of the talent difference, right?
Yeah.
Number 11, Ole Miss is on a bye.
On a bye.
We talked about number 12, Georgia.
Right.
Number 13, Boise State. One of the last unbeatens? No, Boise's been beaten. I lied to you. Sorry.
Did.
They beat San Jose State. Fine. San Jose State is 6-3, but at halftime it was tied. 14-14.
It was tight. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, how did I get 14 points up on you like that?
And they keep talking about this Genty guy for Boise, right? He's in the Heisman race. And they talk about all of his numbers. But I've watched Boise play. He's the only person that gets the ball. Well, of course he's going to have the numbers. And then, as we're watching, it's one of the teams that upset somebody too yesterday. I can't remember. But This guy is second in the FBS in touchdowns behind Genty.
Uh-huh.
He breaks the school record of, I don't know, 4,000 rushing yards. And it's like, well, why isn't he in the Heisman conversation?
I do
What
not
makes
know.
you special?
I don't know. There's got to be something that they vote for. What they vote.
Well,
on.
I mean, he's rushing crazy, but it's also like, okay, you're the only thing
rusher.
they have. They don't have.
So
they
you
don't have
should
2-3
have
rushers. They don't have 4 receivers. You have an unbalanced offense. Congratulations.
Maybe that answers your question.
Well,
You don't want to get the ball. What the heck?
Number 14 SMU beat Boston College 38-28. SMU is undefeated.
SMU, yes.
And I thought the margin was going to be bigger.
I did. No,
But-
whoa. SMU is 8-1.
I lied. Sorry, SMU is not
Yeah,
defeated,
thank
y'all. Everybody's out. Nobody's undefeated.
They lost to
Just
BYU.
kidding. Thank you. And they did.
Remember that game? 4
They
touchdowns
did.
and like
No, that was Kansas State.
Kansas State.
However, Boston College changed their starting quarterback. We talked about that.
Yes, we did.
Castellanos.
Yes.
And he entered the transfer portal. Was this the best time to change him out?
No.
Would it have
No.
different maybe if he was in there?
Maybe. I don't know. They do crazy things. I mean, but that not now. This is critical. I mean, you're at that stage where you want to go to a bowl. I mean,
Yeah, something.
You-
I don't know. I just don't know about that decision.
I'm
but
not the coach.
They didn't bring us to the locker room. Nobody
Not
asked us to
nobody
consult,
did,
so
so-
we'll hush our mouths. Number 15, Texas A&M pummels New Mexico
Yeah.
State.
Yeah.
To be clear, because there is a
Be
New
clear.
Mexico. New Mexico State, 38-3.
Okay.
Number 16.
Oh Lord,
Kansas.
love me. I am
State.
telling you.
Kansas State, Avery Johnson, the hair bear bum,
They-
loses to Arizona State 14-24. They were up 21-0 at halftime over Kansas State. Kansas State didn't score a point in the first half.
Well, you know.
This is the kid
You know-
who beat out Will Howard for the starting position. I will remind you,
Well-
the Will Howard who's playing for the Ohio
Well-
State Buckeyes.
You are right. You are right. And I will be like the coach there. Yeah, he said, "Well, I'll take it all on me.
The Kansas State. coach.
It's all my. I'm gonna take it all.
We watched the
I'll
press
spread it on me."
conference today,
What?
right?
Listen,
Yeah.
Listen, Linda. You gonna tell them I'm gonna take it all on me, and you gonna tell them, at the press conference we didn't prepare them. Bull crap. Every week, every coach is preparing for the game. Don't tell me y'all didn't sit up there and didn't prepare.
I thought he
for it.
said we thought we prepared them,
We
but
thought
we
we
didn't.
prepared
Something
them.
like that.
Bull crap. Yes, you did. You had every play in the book. You knew what they was gonna do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now I will stop myself. You should have been ready. What do we say? Every coach when they come up to that press conference, and they say something about the game. We focus on one game at a time.
They all don't say that though.
Well, I assume you're gonna focus on one game at a time.
You can't though.
Well, anyway, moving right along.
Well, but no, I said that to say
Oh, God. Okay. I'm just saying, you
did
prepare
Kansas
your
State
play.
say that? You watched the press conference. Did he say that? No, Utah. When you watched the press conference, he didn't say that. You know who said that?
Who said
Ryan
that?
Day said that.
But
You know who else said that? Deion Sanders. Deion said, I think the difference is we looking at the
I don't
game
see it at
ahead
a
of
press
us.
conference. I just seen that one. They might have said that at another press conference. They could have.
You watched them win, you watched them lose. Well, go watch the winning press conferences, I guess. We've only seen Utah lose, so.
Anyway, you should have been ready.
You should have been ready, but I also would like to point out Arizona State was 7-2.
Oh yeah, that's
And
true.
Arizona
That's
State
true.
is a tough play. I say it every time. I don't know what conference they're in. I always want to say they were Pac-12, but there's no Pac-12, so I don't know where they are now. But they may have been Mountain West the whole time. Who knows? Not me. But I know they always. We've been to an Arizona State USC game some years back. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And it was close, and Arizona pulled it out.
Yes, they did.
It didn't matter to us because we're not USC fans, but it was fun to go.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was dry though. We didn't get any beer.
I know. That was it.
Is that a rule? We'll figure it
No.
out. It's okay.
But anyway, like you said,
So Kansas State goes down.
they go down number 16.
They goes down. Number 16. Number 17. Colorado. Now, oh my God. Okay, I'm not. Please, gotta stop me. Put the timer on.
I
Put the
am.
timer on.
Go.
Colorado
2 minutes.
17. They beat Utah. Now we know Utah is in third or fourth quarterback. Your friend and mentee Cam Rising. Cam Rising
My friend.
was supposed to be the front runner
Oh,
again
God.
this year. We know when he's in the front runner, they are great. And it's very clear they have an offense problem because we learned yesterday Utah is the #1 defense in the Big 12.
I did not know that.
The Big 12 is like 16 teams now.
And they're the #1.
They're the #1 defense. Colorado put up 49 points.
I was shocked at that.
40.
And that's not the only thing.
Keep going. Keep going.
I know they brought it out in the press conference because someone asked him that, like, how here are the people that you're #1 in the what did he say?
What is going on here?
Never mind. He said he was #1 in like
several things.
Third down defense or something.
Yeah.
Third down defense.
I heard him say, we know offense is the problem. That's clear.
Right.
That's not a secret. And then I heard him say, we know we lead in several defensive categories, which will probably change today. I heard him say that.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, because they shut him down, basically. Can we talk about, and I know we all know I have money on it, or somebody in this room has money on it.
That's better. I don't have any money on it.
The catch on 4th and 8 that Travis Hunter made.
Good night, nurse.
I can't get over it. It was a jump ball. This is football. What do we do in jump ball? A jump that man.
Shador threw one of the more Hail Mary passes. He was between two defenders.
And he just jumps up.
From the ground. I can't even.
I can't
even
stop.
jump.
Our insurance will not cover it. Please don't do it. I can't talk about it. Other thing was, and we always think that somebody's listening to us, and maybe Colorado was listening to the announcers when we turned the game on. They said, "Oh, the offense that series was super sloppy." Talking about Colorado,
yeah.
And Gus was calling the game. Right. Gus and Joel, which I missed them on the Ohio State game. I love when Gus calls the Ohio State game. Yeah. And he said the next series that Colorado got that ball. Mm-hmm. Zip. They were incredible. Incredible.
Well, what he was saying also was Colorado goes in peaks and valleys. I mean, when they're on and driving down the field, they're on. And then sometimes when they're not, they went 4th and out one time. And I went, just be happy. And then he comes back, like Dion was saying, 4th and something. They're on the 4th and go for it. He went for it.
4th and 8, yeah.
And got it.
Yep. And then Pat Short. He was 4th and 8 and threw it like 30 yards.
And then they'll come back the next round.
Yeah, seriously.
And go out 3-0. I'm like, you just went.
Well, Dion's been very clear. He said it last week. I think he said it this week. He said that they have not even got to their best. And, this is what he's been planning for the whole time. Now, I won't say he promised, but he was shooting for a bowl game. And now they could be in the top 12 playoff conversation, especially with the BYU loss.
Yeah.
BYU's Big 12. Am I right?
I think, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
You are right. BYU could very well lose to Arizona State next week. I would not doubt that.
Hey,
I would not doubt that.
Hold on to your hats. Colorado has played Kansas, who just upset. Who does they upset? They just upset BYU.
Yes, thank you.
So now you got to play this. They coming in their hype.
Yeah. Are you coming in their hype, or did you give everything you had to BYU? My opinion, they did not give everything they had to BYU. I don't think Kansas looked amazing. They looked good. They didn't look amazing. I just think BYU isn't who they think they are. And that's just a rock fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shador ends up throwing for 340 passes.
Well, yeah,
or passing yards.
What they said about it.
You want me to say passing yards?
Passing yards?
Passing yards?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I was going to say, Gus pointed out, when this man is protected, he's throwing the ball, he's surgical. And when he's not, he creates something.
I don't even know if, because we all could say, oh, well, if everybody had time in the pocket. It's not even that. If you give him the standard, 3 seconds. But you're absolutely right. When he couldn't find anything, and you only expect the O-line to hold for so long. Everybody said it. Because then you come into penalties and holding. When he couldn't, he was all over that field. And I don't want to even compare him to like a Mahomes or like a Caleb Williams, because it was more different than that to me. Yeah. It's like he creates space. When he gets away from him, he creates space. He's not scrambling and kind of juking them. He created space and creates a pass, and he makes it happen. And he did phenomenal yesterday. Colorado, I can't. Oh, the other very cool part of the Colorado game, we can move on. They got, he's a senior. They got one of the seniors his first career touchdown yesterday on their first try. Isaiah something, I thought.
I thought it was Charlie.
Okay, Charlie. I like that too. He was part of the 1-11 team.
Oh, okay. Yes, he was.
And I like,
before Deion got there.
Yes. And I seen some video on social media, and he was saying, that was super tough. And he was saying how much he just appreciates Deion. He looks at him as like a second father. And it's just, I love what Deion's doing to the Colorado program, hard out. But it's also very cool for the handful, because I think it's about 4 or 5 of them left. That one guy from last year, I don't think he's there anymore. Remember him, the tall guy? He was a receiver.
I can't remember.
He was good. The 4 or 5 that stuck around, even after he said what he said when he got there, it's so awesome to hear them speak about the change in regime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You obviously, these kids who stayed had tenacity and didn't let words deter them, and it's paid off.
He got that little 4-yard run touchdown.
And that's all his only carry, his only possession of the game.
And I kept thinking, why would he give the football back to the ref? He ran to the sideline.
No, he like, I'm keeping this. Good for him.
And then, of course, we heard the story that he's one of the original.
Yeah.
Keep
it.
No wonder.
Keep it. Okay. Now, I know we at the bottom of the barrel, and I know we are playoff minded, but there was just too much chaos at the bottom. I gotta keep going. Well, the Colorado is significant because that could put them up. That's significant. That's a significant win, especially with the BYU loss. But number 18, Washington State, loses to New Mexico, no state, 35-38. Close game, great, blah, blah. All the hubbub about
them getting in there finally.
Well, and oh my gosh. Washington State 7-1. They don't have a conference. Is that going to cause some chaos?
No.
All the hubbub for nothing.
Well,
for nothing.
We don't have to worry about that no more. Drop zone. Oh, drop out zone.
Okay. We rooted for you.
We did.
Not really, but that's like a line from something. Anyway,
go ahead.
Keep it on this loser train. Number 19, Louisville loses to 2-7 Stanford. Now, I love those Stanford. They used to be good. I remember they had the black coach. They fired him some years back. They've been trying to rebuild. But they walk-off field goal. Kicker was hurt, out for 2.5 years. He breaks his hip. He's back this year playing. It's down to the wire. There's 1 second left on the clock. He kicks the field goal. And when he's kicking a field goal, he makes it. But we also look and we say, the stands are empty.
They made this tremendous win.
Big win at home.
And
upset. Rushed the field.
Everybody rushed the field?
Did they rush it? Or
did they didn't get to the 50-yard line. I mean, there was this little crowd huddled on the 40-yard line.
How many football players?
There was more players than there were fans.
Now, we've seen several field rushes this year. And we are always like, oh my God.
How those
the coach has the cops, but nobody else does. Lil Holly is out there. She ain't got no cops. The players don't have cops. These kids are trying to get selfies. You got your helmet on. You just trying to get to the locker room. And I'm always like, the crowd is massive. People are still jumping over the sides. And I'm like, I love it for the college kids. Very exciting. But oh my God, that's got to be so scary for somebody who kind of is not in there celebrating.
Not yesterday.
And we're laughing. Stanford was like a mingler. I mean, they were a mixer. There were people still walking down the stairs.
They were giving them autographs.
They were autographing. The parents were down there. When the parents are down there, nobody grabbed a goalpost. They're not going to break down the goalpost.
They didn't have enough people to grab a ball.
Now, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. We live in a market where the teams are decent and the tickets are not cheap. And so, cheap enough to care, right? The teams could be not good and the tickets ain't cheap. But so we don't get to say, you know what, let's spend $20 to go watch a game. And that's why I assume Stanford's is. I don't know. And so, I'm always a little jealous. But at the same time, they didn't expect them to beat Louisville.
They did not. They did not. They played hard.
That was my favorite upset yesterday.
That was my favorite upset.
That was my favorite upset yesterday.
It had to be.
But penalties.
Yeah.
Penalties. Louisville had, and I wrote it down because I said, that popped up on the screen. I said, it can't be real.
I know.
Louisville had 13 penalties for 101 yards.
Oh, God.
That's a touchdown.
That's true.
It could be 2. It depends on where the field position is. Stanford had 3 penalties for 30 yards. Louisville needs to work on discipline. That's what that's telling me. That's crazy.
We'll send a telegram to the coach.
That's correct. Well, no.
Okay, we'll be
we are available for consulting.
That's true.
For a fee. We can't tell you how to run a team for free.
Yeah, we can tell you some of the mistakes you made.
We'll tell you, but we're gonna send you an invoice. That's just that. Number 20 Clemson barely wins against Pitt yesterday.
Oh, it's tough.
24-20. They score what?
At the last minute, the quarterback, what's his name? Oh God, he got a funny name.
K. Klubnik.
Klubnik.
Klubnik, whatever.
Yeah. Now, I will give them that. They were driving. They didn't have that many seconds left. But the thing of it was, y'all done stopped them the whole game. And for some reason, they had a mental block. And I'm watching that play.
He just ran.
He's running right through him. I said, where was you? And I tried to watch it again. I thought, well, maybe all his guys were held up.
No.
The one guy just died for him, brushed his sleeve. And
yeah. And Klubnik's not the fastest running quarterback.
I would have ran strat for you and tried to push you out of bounds or something. They got by 24-20.
And Pitt's ACC, of course.
Yeah.
But I just thought, Debo
said, I don't care. With them losses ahead of me, I can move up now.
But we learned our lesson. Why are we winning close games?
It's a close game, yeah.
They could have. A minute 43 is a lot of time. Any other team would have come back and got you.
Why am I waiting to the fourth quarter with only a couple minutes left to win the game?
You know what?
And wait, it's not.
Give me a headache. We
ain't done. We got 2 more weeks of this.
They're at the bottom, thank God.
Well,
all right.
They might move.
Another bottom
Feeder.
Bar burner. Number 21 South Carolina versus number 23 Missouri. South Carolina barely wins 34-30.
What a game.
What a flipping game.
Now,
Brady Cook is back at starter. Halftime, I wrote him off in my brain because Missouri was down 6-21 at halftime. And they willed it. Brady Cook is, as we all know, let me tell you something. I don't watch the NFL. Don't worry about it. Mind your business. What's his name? Goodall. He know what he did. What's his name?
I don't know. Rex. Oh, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. Whatever.
You know what you did. But, however, if I'm a team, he could be back up for 15 years. I will pay him the salary. Brady Cook has something you cannot teach, you cannot buy.
Boys, just like Brady Cook.
Tenacity.
Yeah.
He does not. I don't think he's 100% healthy either. That's my opinion. He goes out there and I'm talking about makes the difference. Not just by the plays, by the energy, by the strength. He'll run that ball. He'll take a hit. He'll give a hit. I mean, I know Brady Cook from last year. Yeah. Well, I was aware of him last year. I like the way he plays. I like the way the team plays for him to be. And so they didn't pull it out. South Carolina wins. And it was a bad call or a missed call, I think.
We was looking at that.
And you went on a tangent.
I did. I can't wait.
You went on a tangent when nobody responded. I just was listening. Kurt wasn't responding. And you just went on a tangent for like 5 minutes. And then you said, you know what? Y'all do what y'all want to do.
I can't help him. I wanted to help him. I wanted to get up. I wanted to suit up.
Typical black mom. You cuss them out, and then you say, you know what? Y'all do what y'all want to do.
They didn't listen to
me. They got to get you a striped shirt.
I got to get me something.
Well, the hits keep coming. I know we're at the bottom. I know it's the bottom of the barrel in the basement, but the 20s they fighting. 22 LSU loses to an unranked Florida. They're in Gator country. Got to give credit for that. 16-27. Nussmeier is a Busmeier to me. That's what I'm going to say. I didn't understand why they kept bringing him up at the beginning of the season. I like Brian Kelly.
You know what?
Brian Kelly's an amazing coach. And I just didn't get why they kept bringing up Notre Dame, if you don't remember.
Yeah, I do.
And brother to Chip Kelly, of course.
Yep, I do.
Chip Kelly. Go.
I missed the Brian. I was trying to get the film from the press conferences for the coaches that lost because there got to be an excuse, right? But I miss Brian Kelly. I missed LSU conference because when they started out, again, as we said,
Yes.
I thought they were a good team.
Okay.
And they have just disappointed me.
Well,
They have disappointed me, Brian Kelly.
It's not a headline right now on ESPN.
But it will be.
But I looked, no. I looked earlier, and you know what the headline said? Brian Kelly yells at player and gets yelled at by player.
We put a pin in it. I don't know who the player was. He's walking towards the sideline, and Brian Kelly's just staring him down. And he gets near Brian Kelly, and Brian Kelly opens his mouth like, and they flipped it. They switched it. I said, that cameraman knew what was going to come. When the cameraman went.
Was that Brian Kelly or was it Kirby?
That was Brian Kelly. Remember? Because I said, because you was yelling like Nussmeier, I thought. And I thought you said that wasn't right. Nussmeier.
I think you're right.
Because then when the camera flipped it back to the sideline, the player was walking away.
I think that was Georgia, though.
No, it wasn't. The player was walking away, and he was right behind me. Because he has the short, because he doesn't wear a hat. Kirby wears a visor.
Kirby does. He takes it off a lot.
And I went,
takes it off when he's pissed, though.
Gee, somebody is getting the business.
And we know Brian Kelly banging on the table after the USC loss.
Lord.
Brian Kelly will give you what you came for. I'm gonna Google that. I'm gonna Google that. Who's number 24?
Army.
They had a bye week. Okay, great.
25. Your team. Your team.
My secret team.
Your secret team.
All I wrote down was Navy. I should have wrote down Navy, WTF, Navy, SMH, Navy, WTH, all the things. Navy got shut out.
They didn't score 1 point. And remember, this was unbeaten Navy until last week.
Girl.
Unbeaten Navy.
Girl.
Second to Army.
If you don't get out of my brain, that's exactly what I said. Navy was undefeated 2 weeks ago.
I thought they was gonna give him a bite to the end. To the fat lady sang.
Undefeated.
And guess what happened? Tulane is 8-2. I will say that, but
you know what? You might be right. This might have been.
You get out of there. Get out of there.
We'll have to look this up later.
Yeah, juicy.
Internet's forever, baby. There's cameras everywhere. You know you ain't get caught. I love Brian Kelly, though. But going back to where we were. Tulane. Tulane's my secret team. They freaking shut out Navy. And I just got to say, I understand the loss. We've all had them. There's no team in the entire world that has never been beat in any sport. I don't care.
Yeah.
However, for you to be undefeated till about 2 weeks ago, and you got beat by a good Notre Dame. That made sense. Nobody expected you to win. That made sense. But for you to come and lose to a number 25 Tulane, like what? I'm sorry. Not only lose, you didn't score 1 point. Not even a field goal. Okay, I'll shut up then.
All right,
I'll shut up.
That's all we have for today, folks.
I'll shut up.
I think that was
well, I want to bring up one kind of off game topic. That's the top 25. I don't know what else you want from me. But I want to bring up one thing before we go into the games we want to watch next week, because of course, since we are in college football playoff mode, we're going to do the rankings when we watch the ranking show on Tuesday. And we'll do another show on Tuesday. And so, I got to go to work Tuesday. Oh God, I got to.
Well,
never mind.
I can take it.
Y'all, please get me up. Okay, never. No. Mind your business. Don't worry about the bank. I have to cut that part. One more football thing, because as we know, we don't want to talk about the rankings because we're in college football mode. So we'll talk about them on Tuesday, when the ranking show officially comes out, right?
Got you.
But I wanted to bring up coaching staff. So, and this is what got me thinking about it. We watch some press conferences. We don't always watch the press conferences. We don't. We watch some press conferences, and some of them seem more chaotic than others. And so we got to the Ohio State press conference, and Ryan Day has a guy. He has a guy next to him, and he is going through, he's calling on the media that is going to go next to ask Ryan Day a question. And I said, oh, this is less chaotic, because Utah, they were like asking the questions all at once.
Yeah.
It also got me to think, like, who is that guy? You assume he's part of the coaching staff,
yeah,
no?
I would assume, yeah.
Me too. Deion has a guy. in his press conference.
Yeah.
There's a guy, you didn't see him, but you hear him on the side,
talking to him.
kind of directing. And then I got to thinking, recently, last week on the show, we brought up USC got fined for a coaching violation. They didn't suspend Lincoln Riley because there was a change in the rules in between. But there were 2 years where, and so I looked it up. There were 2 years where analysts were doing coaching duties.
Oh, really?
The article didn't define what that meant or whatever. And so then I looked up, okay, well, how many coaches, I guess the rules changed. I thought it said January 23, but whatever, in the article. So that's why they didn't suspend them to charge them $50,000. And so I said, well, interesting. We know people have scholarship limits, right? Every team has the same number of scholarships, I believe, right? Like they can have 143 scholarships. Maybe that'll be the thing I look up next week. I don't know. But I looked up, how many coaches can you have then? Like, what's the rules? Well, Google told me. I hate Google too, so sorry.
All right, just look it up.
I did.
Okay.
It says, in June 2024, the NCAA has removed limits on the number of on-field coaches in college football, meaning there's now an unlimited number of coaches allowed on the field during the game.
Okay.
Previously, teams were limited to 11 countable coaches, including the head coach.
Okay.
Which made sense because in that article about the fine, it said they had more than allowed countable coaches. Well, it makes sense why you didn't get suspended because now it's not a rule. So you can have unlimited coaches. Now, on-campus recruiting is still limited.
Okay.
Okay. You only can have 11. FBS teams are capped at 11 people that can do staff members allowed to recruit off campus.
Okay.
Which that keeps control, if you ask me.
Okay.
Because you got everybody promising everything, then you can't keep the numbers straight. And then they said the impact on analyst role could lead to more analysts being involved in get more experience with the coaching, whatever.
Okay.
And so I just thought that was interesting because I just didn't know. I didn't know why they got fined. I didn't know you had a limit on coaches. I just didn't know.
Okay, you say all that to say you didn't know you had a limit on coaches. News to me. I just thought they were.
Yeah.
I knew they weren't all out there because when you go up to the press box and you see the.
Yes, I know that part. But how many are you allowed? Because you would think to say, well, if you don't even the playing field, schools with more money can have more coaches, which means they're always going to be the top schools because you got more resources going into winning the game.
Y'all got the same amount,
right? So if there's a limit, that's nice.
That's all.
Whatever. I digress. All right, what do you want to watch next week?
I don't know how to even.
I'm going first.
Okay, you go first.
And I already know you're gonna agree with this.
Okay, I'm good. Go for it.
It's the game next week.
What's the game next week?
The game next week is number 5 Indiana at the Ohio State.
Of course. How could I have forgotten?
State. Now, mind you, these are the ranking numbers. But I don't know what the AP came out with today. I didn't look. So these are the numbers that I had from yesterday. Okay. Do you want me to give you another one?
No.
You want to get one?
You said that.
Do you have any?
I don't have any. Just
all right.
Jump in there.
I also would love to see number 24 Army versus number 8 Notre Dame.
Oh, yes.
Army, you could do something.
I could. Let me look at my little sketch. Oh, yeah, that would be a good one.
You could do something. Wisconsin, you failed. You should have did something yesterday. But you could do something, Army. That could get really interesting.
That could. Okay, so I still don't know who's looking good next week. Sure ain't Oregon versus Washington. I do not know. Ohio State. Well, they got Kentucky.
That's a good one.
Oh, Texas has Kentucky next week.
Number 3 Texas has unranked Kentucky, but we all know
what Kentucky can do.
They're my favorite team. And we already stated the other one. Number 6 BYU has to play at Arizona State. They're going to Tempe, baby.
Okay, that's
going to Tempe, baby. You gonna lose again, BYU. You could easily lose again, BYU.
Wow.
Easily, because I don't know if you have what it takes. I don't know if you have what it takes to bounce back from that when you were already living on the edge.
Now, another one that I'm looking at that might be a little dicey.
Okay.
But it's a rivalry.
What?
Alabama has to play Auburn. Now, will Auburn give them a fight? Because I know it's like Michigan, Ohio State.
Let me look at your notes because they have to play Oklahoma first.
Oklahoma first.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say they got 2 more weeks.
Okay, they got 2 more weeks for that. I was going to say, where's the rivalry?
Everybody has 2 more weeks. So either you got 2 games or you got a bye and a game, right?
Yeah, okay, that's right. That's true.
Yeah.
I jumped ahead of myself. I was playing the game before I got there.
Yep.
I don't see nothing else. SMU, Virginia.
Well, I got one more, and
All right, go
then
ahead.
we'll wrap it up. Both teams are 6-4.
Okay.
Today, as of yesterday, there was a team that was ranked, and one was not. Tomorrow, or today, I should say, I don't think that the team's ranked. So both of these teams have a record of being 6-4.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt at LSU.
I looked at that and I thought, I wonder
You
if
wonder?
Vandy. Well, what Vandy's gonna show up?
Which
one?
Vandy's gonna
Which
show
Vandy's
up?
gonna show up?
Very true.
Is it gonna be that Vandy that
Very
played
true.
a good game and beat Alabama?
Yeah.
Or is it be that silly Vandy that ran
Barely,
out of time?
or that is he the one that ran out of bounds? No, that was Tennessee. It was Tennessee. Funny. Well, the one we seen. Or is it the Vandy who got pummeled by Kentucky?
Ah.
Right.
That's a
Okay.
good one.
So next week, week 13, we are almost at the end of the regular season.
Thank God.
I don't know how we got this far.
I don't either.
The sun is shining down on us, as we all can see.
Oh God.
And that's gonna take me to I'm Kelly, like the color.
I'm Guy, like the cold butter. Thank you.
This
Thank you.
is Saturday Hangover. Like, subscribe, comment, call you? No, she's sick this week. Don't call me. Call her agent though.
Kelly's my agent.
We'll get I'll be the agent. And we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday for the CFP ranking game, which
something's gonna change.
Some things will need to change.
BYU.
Be right back. Be yourself. Goodbye, y'all.